Hello everyone. I know I didn't upload last week, and I know this is probably not the kind of video you're expecting. I still need more time to finish those games I gotta review, and sometimes with me recently, it's hard to find some time. But anyway, I have a different topic for today. One that's been on my mind recently. I want to focus on the good old Papa Louie games. You know, the games where you serve customers a bunch of food and then hope they enjoy it. Or if you're messing around, you hope that they really do not enjoy it. It's a legendary part of the Flash games online that unfortunately will be dead after 2020. All those memories of me playing Papa's Hot Doggeria in middle school when there's nothing else to do in class, well, those will just be memories. So, let us discuss the Papa Louie games, shall we? We first got to bring up the OG Papa Louie game, which is Papa's Pizzeria. It was released in 2007, and is a bit more primitive compared to the future Papa games. You have no option as to who you are as you become Roy, who is Papa's delivery boy for the pizza. You can't really decorate your lobby, there's no new ingredients to unlock, and it's just a bit more boring compared to the future ones. Papa's Burgeria was the next game, and it improved on this slightly, but it wasn't until the Taco Mia that we start to unlock new ingredients. I guess Taco Reah doesn't exactly work there. Anyway, my favorite game in this entire series, which I mentioned, is Papa's Hot Doggeria. This is the nostalgia game for me. This is the game that I actually got all the way to unlocking Papa Louie as a customer. You eventually unlock 5 different hot dogs, so there's a lot of different cooking times to keep track of, lots of different toppings, etc. And the pop station, well, that was an automatic 100% unless you screwed things up in a major way, and obviously I've had too much pop with what you just heard there. Anyway, so maybe that pop station wasn't that difficult, but hey, I'm cool with that. Anyway, there were still plenty of Papa games after this, but you can tell they were probably starting to run out of ideas a bit. That's what happens when you have to come up with 14 different types of restaurants. I mean, the most recent one is Papa's Scooperia. What? I don't even know what they're serving here, some sort of weird ice cream cookie hybrid. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds delicious, but not exactly a typical thing that's served at restaurants. Papa's got too many freaking ideas. Maybe Papa Louie has run its course, but hey, that doesn't mean we shouldn't remember it fondly. After all, I think part of the appeal of the Papa Louie games are the ridiculous customers. You got psychopaths like Exandra, grumpy boomers like Chester, mad scientists like Professor Fitz, and a girl whose name is actually Utah. Anyway, some of your weirdest customers you'll find are undoubtedly the folks known as closers. In case you're unfamiliar, these are the customers that are typically your last customer of the day, and they are extra hard to please. If you mess up against a closer, they ain't gonna smile and forgive you. They finna be pissed. It adds a little extra challenge to the end of each game, and it makes you wary of the impendingness of the closer. If you screw up his or her order, that is bad. Especially if you screw up Jojo the food critic's order. If you make him happy, that leads to getting a blue ribbon, which leads to more tips, which leads to buying more ridiculous stuff for your shop. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that you can really customize your lobby to make sure, or make your customers not bored and be playing on their phone. You don't want that. They don't like playing on their phone as much as having banana-flavored gumball machines, or better yet, record players and arcade machines. That is just a taste of some of the interesting stuff you can put in your lobby. And again, in the earlier, more primitive Papa's games, you really couldn't do that as much, which kinda sucks. But in the more recent games, there was plenty of stuff to make your lobby and your character look ridiculous, which is pretty cool, honestly. Now, I believe a huge part of the appeal of the Papa Louie games comes in its music and graphics. These are two things that can't be ignored when playing a game. The gameplay is obviously most important, but the graphics and music set the mood. And I'd best describe the graphics as colorful and the music as cheerful. Sure, the graphics are ridiculously cartoonish, but I think that's kind of the point. It adds to the charm of the game when you see a guy with a big wide grin pointing at a hot dog like he just found $1,000,000. And the graphics are always vibrant when you're playing, which keeps you hooked. And it's especially colorful when you got your lobby really decorated. I mean, let's think about the other cool math games out there. World's Hardest Game, that's just you dodging a bunch of yellow and blue balls. There's no real art in that. The whole run game, you're just an alien running on a bunch of squares. Papa Louie is 1,000 times more immersive than that, and that's what makes it a special Flash game. So now let's talk about the music. There's a different little tune for each station that you enter when you're playing the game. And they're all relatively soothing. The sounds you hear of your food cooking can also be kind of relaxing, unless of course for the moments that they're temporarily interrupted by your timer ringing. The music seems to strike a balance between being soothing, like I said, but also being upbeat and cheerful. I think Papa's Pizzeria and my favorite, the Hot Doggeria, are two excellent examples of this. In the Pizzeria, the theme is tropical, and the music definitely has that vibe to it. And in Hot Doggeria, the restaurant is at a baseball park, and the music definitely fits that vibe as well. So I've addressed that the gameplay is relatively simple, so what's the big reason we stay hooked? Those great music and graphics, I'm telling you. Well, I also gotta talk about two of my favorite YouTubers to play the Papa Louie games. I highly recommend you check them out afterwards if you've never seen them before. One is a YouTuber I watched all the way back in 2012 when I first started playing Papa's Hot Doggeria, and this guy's goal was to fail in the quest for 0 points. He went by Cheetah Wolf, and as you can tell, his goal was to get 0 points from a customer in every single Papa game in the most epic way. If you like epic music, screeching, and comedy all in one, then definitely check him out.
That looks kind of like the Final Smash Ball thing.
Then there's also the more recent YouTuber I've been watching, and he has to be my favorite Let's Player on YouTube now, Professor. His most recent video involves serving 2003 chicken wings in the Papa's Wingeria game. How one man has the patience for that is beyond me, but let's just say it creates quite the interesting and laggy experience. So overall, the thing about Papa Louie games is that they represent the beautiful simplicity of Flash games. There's a reason I describe myself as partially a hardcore and partially a casual gamer. The hardcore gamer in me really has fun and makes great memories playing video games, likes discussing games, what I like and what I don't like, etc. That's why I have this YouTube channel. But the casual gamer in me recognizes that I don't have amazing skills at video games, and honestly, I just want something nice and simple to play a lot of the time. I don't have the attention span for a really complex game. My brain is just not wired like that. And the Papa Louie games, anyone can freaking understand them. And truthfully, you can either try at the game and probably mostly succeed, or just mess around like those delightful YouTubers I just showed. Either way, it's a fun experience and a fun way to pass the time, especially those boring times in school when I had nothing else to do back in the day. And hey, sometimes even now. So that's why it's sad that Flash games are going to die after 2020, but hey, I guess the times are a-changin'. And you can still buy the Papa games in app form, but the key word there is buy. I want to just be able to play it on the computer. But with no more Flash, those days will be gone soon. Rest in peace, Papa Louie. And congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning the Super Bowl. That's probably why I burped earlier, is that all those food I ate yesterday. Bye-bye.